students. Welcome to the session on operations planning, scheduling and control. I, Dr. Sanket Charkha, will be undertaking this particular session or module for you. I have completed my graduation and post-graduation in commerce from Savitribai Phule Pune University. I have also completed my Masters of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy along with various other diploma and certification courses from Savitribai Phule Pune University. I have a total teaching of 9 years of academic and teaching experience in terms of specialization into banking and finance, international business, operations management, and hospitality management. Currently, I am working as an associate assistant professor with Sinhagad Institute's Srimati Kashibai Navle College under Savitribai Phule Pune University. I welcome you for this particular session, that is module 5 of the operations planning, scheduling, and control. Now let's begin with our learning. In this particular first session, we'll be understanding and dealing with the concept of an introduction to total productive maintenance, the learning objectives. At the end of this particular session, the learners will be able to understand or identify what do we mean by total productive maintenance, understand the various activities that have been carried out under the TPM, and explain the scope of TPM, that is total productive maintenance. Now let's first understand what do we mean by total productive maintenance. Total productive maintenance is a part of a strategy that has been operated as a business organization's consideration. Everyone in a facility or on a shop floor should participate and contribute into the betterment of a maintenance rather than just the maintenance team. So total productive maintenance is a series of activities that has been undertaken on the shop floor for the betterment of conduction of a product or a certain activity, which has been undertaken for the better maintenance. Maintenance is needed to be undertaken from not only from the maintenance team, but the entire every participants or every member of the organization should form a participants of it. This method makes advantages of all the employees, talents, and aims to include maintenance into a facility's daily operations. So when the maintenance is being undertaken or this particular strategy is being implemented on day-to-day level, such type of activities are being undertaken as to how do we have a control on those operational activities and in what way those activities can be conducted in a better consideration. So the maintenance is a part of a facility's daily operations in which the business organization or activities can be undertaken in a better consideration and how we can have a control on the production activities, manufacturing activities, and shop floor activities. Now let's understand what are the various procedures or activities that are being performed under the total productive maintenance. The various total productive maintenance is a consideration or a combination of activity that is being undertaken by an individual, that is I use. So wherein we have a certain operator and a particular operator is having the various maintenance, that is how do we have a correlation as to how does he maintain, that is I maintain. So when the combination of I use, that is the operator, and maintenance, that is I maintain, is being undertaken with the help of TPM, that is total productive maintenance, the combination is the operator plus maintenance, which we give a consideration as to be maintained. So when the organization or individual members of the organization come together and they come for a betterment of an organizational activities, such type of initiatives that have been undertaken are called as the consideration of total productive maintenance. So in case of a total productive maintenance, the activities that have been undertaken are of a certain consideration in which the operator plus maintenance, they both come together and a coordinated, well-series coordinated activities are being taken for the betterment of organization. Now let's understand what are the various prerequisites for total productive maintenance. The total prerequisites for total productive maintenance are loss elimination. Initially, organization has to see that how do we cover or how to minimize the amount of losses and in what way or in what considerations the losses that may incur or that may arise in a business organization may reduce at a certain level. So elimination of losses is essentially important, and an organization must always try to inculcate various habits or various considerations as to how do we reduce or how do we minimize those losses. The second perspective that focuses on is autonomous maintenance. In case of an autonomous maintenance, we are always trying to aim to see that how the maintenance of a business organization or a particular machinery or a particular failure in an organization is being undertaken through an autonomous way. That is, there is less involvement of human beings, less involvement of machines with their into existence, and automatically the machines gets repaired or it gets automatically functional. So the various use of robotic tools and technologies, which will try to eliminate the resources, which will try to eliminate the wastages, and the lead time is also being reduced. So autonomous maintenance is essentially required. The another prerequisite for total productive maintenance is planned series of activities in an organization, which is of a manufacturing concern or nature. Every activity or every performance or level of assembly line that we are taking into account, it must have a planned series of activities. And those particular activities can be, if they are in a planned concern, then we may have a proper sequence of activities as to how do they follow a particular sequence and in what way they are considering a business organization as to a planned series. So for those consideration, a planned series of activities is essentially important, and on those particular basis, we can have a prerequisite as to how we can control those activities. The third perspective that focuses on is the concept of predictive maintenance. In case of an predictive maintenance, we must also have a positive approach in a consideration as to how we can control the business activities, how we can have a consideration as to the prediction of those maintenances and what activity can be required at what level. So predictive maintenance is essentially important. And when all those activities are being conducted in well-coordinated and series way, we can have a better predictive maintenance strategies that can implement it. The next prerequisite for a total productive maintenance is organized inputs and outputs. So all the inputs and outputs in the organization should be very well organized, and all those series and activities must be there in a better constitution. So organization of inputs and outputs is essentially required, and on those particular basis, we may have a certain consideration as to the planned series of activities of what inputs can be given and what outputs can be generated in a business organizations. Now let's understand what is the concept of TPM, that is total productive maintenance. The TPMs are expected to, so what they're expected to, they are stands for the total productive maintenance, and it is a maintenance concept. And what do we contain? We have to contain the total quality. So total productive maintenance has many features of total quality management and in forms of a structure such as the concept of employee engagement, the leadership and commitment, the long-term based goal, the planning, and so on. So these are the various activities that have been undertaken in case of a total productive maintenance, wherein it majorly focuses on developing a qualitative products and how those particular qualitative products can be delivered to the business organizations. And hence, total quality management total productive maintenance focuses on total quality management with the focus on employee engagement, leadership and commitment, long-term based goal, and the concept of planning that can be undertaken in the business organizations. And hence all those activities have been undertaken in business organization for the concept of total productive maintenance. Now let's understand why is TPM necessary. The concept of TPM is necessary because total productive maintenance is a holistic approach to equip the maintenance that strives to achieve a perfect production. So they are always aiming and striving to achieve a perfect production by having a better equipment maintenance. So better equipment maintenance, that is the machinery, the production line, the assembly line, everything should have a proper holistic approach, and all those activities needs to be controlled in a better way. So hence TPM is necessary. The another importance or of necessity of TPM is there are no breakdowns, there are no small stops or slow runnings, and there is no defect. So all these activities as to the breakdowns, stoppage, slow running, and defects have been reduced, and it has been minimized. And hence, in order to control those particular activities, or in order to see that those activities or this type of consideration does not arise as to breakdown or slow running or defects, we must have an effective TPM, that is total productive maintenance, in place. In addition to it, a value as a safe working environment. So for a safe working environment, TPM is also necessary, and it also focuses on the concept of no accident, no hazards, and no loss of life. So they always focuses on the reduction or number of accidents, or no accident situations, no hazard, that is no hazards are being created, that is no risk of life or no risk of loss is being created, no materials are being wasted, and everyone is in a safe environment working in a business organization or working on the shop floor. So these are the two factors on which basis it focuses that TPM is essentially necessary. Now let's understand why should be there an emphasis of TPM. So emphasis of TPM is being required because it emphasizes on these particular factors. That is total productive maintenance emphasized on these 6 factors. Number 1, proactive and preventive maintenance. So how do we have a proactive and preventive maintenance, in which consideration the various activities preventive measures can be undertaken for the betterment of organization in the short run as well as in the long run. Maximizing the operational efficiency of the equipment. So how do we create or how do we improve the operational efficiency of a particular equipment so that the better qualitative and quantitative products have been maintained or they have been produced simultaneously. It blurs the distinction between the roles of the production. So however, it blurs the distinction between the production activity, manufacturing activity, supply activity, distribution activity is being blurred, and hence when we need to remove the distinction between all these activities, the total productive maintenance is identifiable and it provides a better consideration as to how we can have a control and clarity of all those activities. Maintenance by placing a strong emphasis. So we must have a strong emphasis on all the activities that are being undertaken. So TPM, that is total productive maintenance, emphasizes or focuses on all the activities that is being undertaken, and every single activity is being monitored and it is being understood or considered as an important activity. The next consideration is empowering the operators. So proper operators empowerment has been given, which focuses on how we can control a better organization situation and in what way those empowering activities can be undertaken in the business organization. And lastly, helping maintain their equipment. So what equipments have been maintained in the business organization, how we can have a control on those particular equipments, and in what level those equipments can be considered in a better organizational situation. So having a better maintenance of those equipments is necessary, and we must have a proper control on emphasizes of TPM as total productive maintenance and control of those activities. So the implementation of a TPM program creates a shared responsibility about how we can share the responsibility between different individuals and different organizations can create different activities. The equipment that encourages the greater involvement by plant and the floor workers. So it has an encouragement of involvement by all the workers, that is the plant workers, the floor workers, the top level management, middle level management, low level management, and so on. So at certain stages, this particular step might be quite helpful in raising the productivity and a correct atmosphere can be built in a business environment. So it helps to increase up the increasing the time, reducing the cycle times, as well as reducing or eliminating the defects. That is, the number of defects in the business organization or the product manufacturing unit can be reduced simultaneously. And from those particular basis, we can have a better quality of products that have been manufactured and a better control on the production activities, process activities, and the regulatory activities that have been undertaken. And hence, that's the importance or the benefits of using a TPM, that is total productive maintenance. Now let's summarize what we have learned in this particular session. In this particular session, we have understood what do we mean by total productive maintenance, what are the various scope or objectives of the TPM, what are the various objectives, activities that have been performed in case of a TPM, and why there is a lot of emphasis that has been provided for TPM. I hope you must have enjoyed the learning in this particular session. We'll stay connected and we'll continue with our learning. Thank you so much for your patience listening. Thank you.